Okay, so let's talk about something I think pretty much anyone in AV has slammed into. It's the digital cliff.
Oh, yeah. The 30-foot HDMI problem.
Exactly. You run a cable 20 feet, the picture's absolutely perfect. You try to push it to 30 feet, and poof, nothing. Just a black screen.
It's just physics. I mean, it's the physical limitation of copper. A high bandwidth signal like 4K, it dies after a certain distance.
Which brings us to the hardware we're unpacking today, because this thing basically claims to ignore physics entirely.
Yeah.
We're doing a deep dive on the Kramer TP-590Txr.
And it's a huge claim. The spec sheet says it can push 4K video, audio, and a bunch of control signals nearly 2 football fields.
590 feet, to be specific.
Yeah, 590 feet. And the real kicker is that it does it all over a single standard Ethernet cable.
So that's our mission today, right? To figure out if this is just a really, I don't know, a fancy overpriced extension cord, or if the technology behind it, this HDBaseT 2.0, is actually redefining how we design rooms.
It's definitely the latter. And the 2.0 part in HDBaseT is really the key here. Version 1.0 was great, for video, but 2.0 is what brings in all the serious versatility.
The versatility, right, because I'm looking at the list of interfaces on this box, and I see the HDMI ports you'd expect, but also USB Type-B and terminal blocks for RS-232.
And that's the whole 5-play feature set HDBaseT is famous for. So you've got video, audio, Ethernet, control, and power.
Okay, but that USB bit seems crucial. That turns this from just a video extender into something more.
Exactly. It makes it a KVM extender.
AVM keyboard, video, mouse. So I'm not just watching a movie from across the building. I'm actively controlling the computer from there.
Think about the practical use for that. Imagine a big lecture hall or even a sterile medical room. You want that noisy, hot computer tower locked away in a server closet down the hall.
But the person using it needs to feel like the computer is right there on their desk.
And to do that normally, you'd need this massive snake of cables. One for the monitor, one for the keyboard, another for the mouse, for the internet.
Right, a whole bundle. But Kramer is routing all of that, the huge 4K video stream, and the tiny little mouse clicks down that one single cable.
It is.
So is there a latency penalty for that? Is there a lag?
Virtually zero. And that's because HDBaseT is an uncompressed technology. It's not like streaming over your network where a computer has to chop up the video into packets. This is a dedicated pipeline.
So the pixels you see on the screen are the exact pixels that left the graphics card a split second earlier.
That's it. It's just maintaining that perfect signal integrity, but over a much, much longer distance.
Okay, that explains why they're also emphasizing the audio specs. I see Dolby True HD and DTS HD Master Audio.
Yeah, if the pipe is big enough for uncompressed 4K, high-res audio is kind of a breeze for it.
So you mentioned 5-play earlier. One of those was control, and I see the RS-232 ports here. For anyone who doesn't know, that's that old cool serial connector, right?
It is, yeah, but it's still absolutely vital for professional automation. Lets a central control system talk directly to a projector or screen.
To tell it to turn on or change the input without needing a whole separate control wire run.
Exactly.
And the final piece of that puzzle was power. The spec sheet mentions PoE.
Power over Ethernet. And that is a huge win for installers. It means the receiver unit that's tucked away behind the TV doesn't need its own power brick and its own outlet.
The power just comes down this same cable as all the data. That is much cleaner.
So much cleaner.
But we have to talk about the price tag on this thing. I'm seeing it listed at $512, and that's discounted from over $600. That is steep for a box that connects things.
It is. It is steep. But you have to look at it differently. You're paying for reliability. For what they call MTBF, mean time between failures, this is built to be set and then forgotten.
I did notice the warranty. 7 years.
Right. That's just unheard of in consumer electronics. Most gadgets get a 1-year warranty. 7 years tells you they expect this thing to sit inside a wall and just run 24/7 without ever failing.
So you're paying for the insurance that you won't have to tear open the drywall in 2 years to fix it.
Precisely. In a corporate boardroom, if a big meeting can't start because the screen is blank, that downtime costs way more than the $500 device.
It's infrastructure. And good infrastructure is supposed to be invisible.
If it's doing its job, you completely forget it's even there.
So to wrap this all up, the Kramer TP-590Txr uses HDBaseT 2.0 to essentially turn a standard, cheap cable into a 590-foot, 4K-capable, power-delivering umbilical cord.
It solves the distance problem without the compression compromise you get with other solutions.
Which brings us to a final interesting thought for you to consider. If we can flawlessly move the computer 600 feet away from the screen and the keyboard, Does the personal computer actually need to be personal anymore?
It really frees up the architecture of a space. The machine can be anywhere.
Yeah, suddenly your office isn't where the computer is, it's just wherever you decide to plug in. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.